You're gonna hold me to that.
We can get right to it again for questions.
No, okay, I'll start, because it's a season opener. I know a lot of you guys have, heard me long enough, but I'm just gonna go through a couple of things that I said in the locker room. I'll give you a peek at what's going on in the locker room, although you probably already know stuff that I know you shouldn't know, but that's just me thinking and talking out loud, so let's just go forward. Alex rolled down 250 appearances, so that's a big number, and he passed Brad Evans, Brad was a big time player for us, so kudos to Alex. I congratulated Hassani Dotson on his first Sounder goal. Because it was a goal. I mean, there was never a foul on that. I have no idea why that got called back. We celebrated the return of Paul Arriola, because there's a kid who's been through a lot of heartache, a lot of time in the gym, getting himself back. And I know preseason games are one thing, but getting out there, that's a positive note for me and the team. We laughed about Albert's header because he doesn't score many of those, but that was a really good technical heading, glancing header. That was excellent. That was really excellent. We had a little bit of a note about Andrew Thomas, his first clean sheet. Now, it's not his first clean sheet for the club, but it's the start of a new year. And, I made sure that Steph understood that I'm going to need him, because I'm going to play him in some competitions. But it was a good result for Andrew to start the year off on a positive. And then the final thing I would say, and this is the thing that's going to help us throughout the course of the year, I talked to you guys about competition at different spots. And I'm going to drive that home and just make sure that everybody knows there's competition, because it raises the level of training. And so when you watch Schneider Brunel and Paul Rothrock and some of the other guys, Osaze, when you watch those young guys train because they're hungry, when we put them on the field, that's what you see. So Paul might be the old story, and look, he was fantastic. That might have been the best sub I made all game. It's unfortunate that, and I'll get ahead of this one. Look, Jordan came up with a quad injury. We'll assess him later, but Paul came on and did exactly what he always does. But you're watching a kid in Schneider Brunel and a younger kid in Osaze. Those kids played well. And it bodes well for what I want is competition throughout the squad to make sure we raise the level of training. And then when guys step on the field, guess what? They're prepared and they're going to contribute to the squad. So I was very pleased with a disjointed game. And, we came out with a, fairly comfortable 2-0 victory.
All right, with that, we'll start with questions here. We'll begin on this side of the room. Mike is coming around. We'll start with Jeremiah and then go to Mike.
Yeah, if you could just speak a little bit more about the performance of Paul Rothrock. Obviously, was not ready to. He was. I guess he was ready to come in, but he was not. He was not. He didn't. He had to come off the bench so early in the game. It's just not sort of where you are mentally, and he almost immediately had an impact. And he obviously scores a goal as well.
Look, that goal was a great finish. He's running away from it. He smacks it high. That was a clean finish. His hustle, for lack of a better word, his hustle to keep the ball in play, and then his delivery of that cross for Albert's header. And Jeremiah, he's always ready. That kid is always ready. That could have been could have been a statement to me. Like, you know what, coach, I should be there. And I admire that. I appreciate that. He had a really, really good performance tonight.
Miles, go ahead.
Brian, one of your things you wanted to work on this season was to get more players in the box. You get 15 shots and 5 shots on goal. What is it about the build up to get more players in the box, and then once they were in there?
Well, Moz, we've been working on that for, last 3-4 years. I mean, Precky's done a great job of how we build up and then how we attack and, you know, do all that sort of stuff. It comes down to just repetition. It comes down to just making sure that the coaches' voices, they hear it, we demand it out of them, they do it. I mean, we've got a good team. You know, there was the 1 year where we couldn't score, but last year we scored a lot of goals. This year it's a positive start because we scored 3. So we're gonna keep things moving, and it's just, again, testament to the good coaching that the guys get and their application of the coach's ideas.
Nico?
Thank you. Coach, you already had a good pressing team last season, but it seemed like you guys worked on it all week. So I was wondering what you thought about that press. And Jesus Ferreira, a couple of assists today, just your thoughts on his play.
Jesus was good today. He was good. Look, I'm going to use guys, and, you know, I took him off the field, not because he was playing bad, but just because I'm blessed with 18 strong squad players, and so I'm going to mix and match and get fresh guys on at certain moments. The pressing was okay, and Freddie does a lot of that. He scouts everything and how we press the goal kicks and everything. But I got to give kudos to Matt and his team. I mean, Colorado, they stuck to their guns. I mean, they were going to play out of the back. They were committed. So I give them kudos to that. How successful that's going to be over the long haul of the season, let's see. But kudos to him for finding a way to play. And then, of course, kudos to us because I thought we were this close. I mean, I didn't think that foul on Josh, Christian on Josh, was a foul. But, you know, we do a lot of work with Johnny and Freddie and all those guys, pressing on goal kicks, pressing on throw-ins deep in their half. That's one of the calling cards of our team.
Tim?
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Tim.
Can you remember playing 61 minutes in a half?
You know who else said that? Steph Fry. he was like going, I can't believe we played 61 minutes. No, but I mean,
How would you describe that first half?
disjointed. It was disjointed. I mean, look, we started off on fire. Should have been 2-0. You know, then the red card, not the red card, the goal, not the goal. I mean, it was hard for our guys. I think we did a good job of getting them to kind of calm down at halftime. And we came out in the second half a little bit better. Still room for improvement, but I thought the second half was a little better, and we scored the goal to make it 2-0. And then, you know, I thought we were in control of the game.
And how's Hassani doing?
Sonny's fine. We took him out because of a concussion. They're still checking him out. The doctors are going to do it. We, as always, the safety and well-being of our players are paramount. Whether he goes into the final concussion protocol or not, I'm going to let the experts do that. He is fine. He's coherent. He feels good. But again, safety is the #1 priority.
Brian, obviously getting a win and getting 3 points is important no matter what. But given the fact that you won't be at home until April 12th, was there a little extra juice here to try to win in front of the fans?
Absolutely. In the build-up, the whole week leading up to it, you know, everybody pitching in with the right messaging, with the right training loads, the messaging for the training before the game. And it doesn't just come from me as a coach and assistants. The players were talking about the same thing. And so we all know the challenges that we're gonna face. So yes, this was a crucial win. We needed this result.
Diego? Este año en inglés?
Hey.
Por favor. Inglés, por favor.
En español se prefiere.
Okay, next year English.
Okay.
Tonight the team and the players played about 120 minutes, and they seem to be in good shape during that whole time. How do you believe the physique is going to be for the rest of the season?
Well, it's a great question because, you know, Adam Santafani, our fitness coach, is excellent. He is top in our league, and we talked about the difference this season with the World Cup break. And so we pushed them a little harder during preseason to make sure that we got off to a strong start, because a lot of times our team doesn't start strong. We kind of finish the end of the year in a good way physically. but because of the break, we felt we could push them a little more. And I think you saw that in the game tonight. I think everybody was in a good way physically.
Been a special mental preparation of the team for playing 4 games away in a row.
I think I answered it before. I think, yes, we were aware of the difficulties. You know, last year, I'll bring this up because it's worth mentioning. Last year, our home record was 10, 1, and 6. So we had 10 wins, 1 loss, 6 draws at home, which was very good. I mean, that's very, very good. And so starting the season off at home was very important.
Estábamos al tanto de la dificultad.
About the defensive performance tonight of the team, obviously you guys got a clean sheet. How important is that for Andrew and the team to get that, especially looking ahead to these away
It
matches?
was a good start for Andrew for sure. Jess, thanks for that. Overall, the team defending was very good. Individually, I thought Alex had a strong game. You know, knew who was doing his thing. Yaimar Jackson had a good performance. You know, we gave away a few too many goals last year, so that's also been a point of emphasis for us. And I think the set piece defending tonight was very good. And that's something that we've worked on in preseason. So overall, I was very pleased with the result. Obviously, the clean sheet, but also the way we defended.
All right, let's come down here to Moss.
Thanks for warming up, Jess. On that question, Brian, defensively, just can you talk about your 2 center backs? Because the way that they moved, co-dependent with each other, and then Jackson Reagan and probably 3
Couple
tackles.
of good blocks, tackles, yeah, they were good. That's the expectation now. I mean, Yaimer's been in consideration for Defender of the Year. Jackson's got a lot of accolades from last season, so we're gonna demand more of those 2. We've got a tough stretch coming up, and they'll have to be playing at a high level.
All right, we're gonna leave it there. Locker room is open for player